Hey, we're unmuted. They can hear us now.
I've just thrown a bottle of Fanta on the floor.
Oh my god, everything went wrong at once just as we clicked record. My microphone's muted, Casper's
It's okay,
something.
it was closed.
Okay,
It was
right.
closed.
We're safe. We're safe. I've got my unbranded energy drink here. And we're
I've got
joined...
my totally not Fanta.
Totally not Fanta.
My totally not branded.
Penguin coffee cup.
The epitome of Britishness right now.
I love it. Yes, we. I think this is our first episode that's all British. No, we have had some other. British
Yeah,
folks on
we've
here,
had a few
I
British
think.
people, I think.
Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome to podcast 850,001. I am joined by my co-host Casper
Hello, I am Casper.
and the wonderful Kayla from Kayla_the_gamer_ over on
Because
Twitch.
everything was taken.
And
I didn't want numbers.
Taken. Yeah,
I didn't
fair.
want numbers, so I was like, oh, well, there we go.
Underscore's a good way. I put a fucking Z at the end of my name because Zenith Game was taken, and Zenith Games with an S was taken, so I had to settle for the Z. So honestly, underscores are way better.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm lucky,
it's
my
just
username isn't common, so it's never taken.
What, Flappy Hands and Stims? Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
a very
it's
common
never been
one.
taken on
It's a very good name
Thank
for
you.
what you do.
I came up with it
On
myself.
brand as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So, Kayla, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
How are you? How you doing? How have you
This
been?
is my first time on a podcast.
Hey.
Well, I hope it's a good time.
But do not perceive. It looks like I'm not looking at the camera, but my camera is offset to both my screens. I've got you on one screen, and then I've got your Twitch on the other screen.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm staring off into the distance. I promise I'm not.
The curse of the dual monitor setup, you know.
Yeah.
When I move, I'm gonna work on a new setup, so it looks like I'm actually looking at my screen rather than being off to the side.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I literally have to sit like at an angle, so it looks like I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, when I'm gaming on Twitch, because I'm currently facing to my left, but I have to have it as an angle, so I flip the camera so it looks like I'm actually looking at the games that I'm playing. Otherwise, I'm just look like I'm looking off camera to the left for no fucking reason. It's so strange. So what? You're moving out. You're getting a new setup. So
Yeah.
how
apartment.
yeah.
Yes.
No, that's wonderful. Here's to new beginnings, you know.
Yeah.
Are we cheersing or not?
Yes. Oh my god, we've all got
wait,
drinks.
wait.
So yes,
Oh,
we've all got
wait.
unbranded drinks. Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Cheers!
Cheers.
Oh, I went off the camera. There we go.
I blurred my camera.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh, jeez. I don't have a segue. I
For
wanted
some
to
reason,
ask...
I look really blue, and I'm very confused as to why. Can you see
It's
that?
the
Yes,
shirt
I
you're
can
wearing.
absolutely see the blue.
It's the shirt
Maybe
you're wearing.
if I put something that isn't blue on this screen, then it might help.
There,
Sorry,
there we go.
continue.
Anyway, I don't have a segue, but I wanted to ask you. I was trying to like get the whole new beginnings thing into some kind of segue of like, okay, so how did you begin with Twitch? You know, because I basically wanted to ask you about what are your motivations to start streaming. I like to ask streamers this because it's always an interesting one. Like, what got you in front of the camera in the first place? What drove you there?
I was bored.
That's a good reason.
Unemployment and lockdowns. I was so freaking bored.
That is a good reason and one I can definitely relate to.
And then suddenly, like, I was just minding my own business, just chatting in like other like community streams, and then suddenly within a week I was affiliate, and I was just like, that wasn't meant to happen. What the fuck?
You just got ambushed. So did you ever set out with the intention of trying to get affiliate and things like that, or were you just like,
That
yeah,
was not the plan.
I just want to stream? Yeah, no, that's a good way of
I was just
getting into it.
literally doing it for fun, and then suddenly I was like, oh, I have an email from Twitch, and I've got affiliate now, and I'm like, okay. And now but apparently it's been 7 months since I started. I'm now
Ooh.
like, and I'm on like 700 followers, and I was like, excuse you, where'd you and you know when you're like trying to catch like everyone's streams, and then you end up just going to the same ones.
Yeah.
You're comfortable there, and you're like, I feel bad because there are like loads of regulars who I don't go and see.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's
also time zones are a pain in my ass.
Oh yeah,
Because
time zones are horrible.
80% of my following is American.
yeah, yeah. I
Trying
can
to
relate
find
to
a
that.
time to speak to American friends is honestly the bane of my life. It's either 3 a.m. or not at all.
But like some of my friends, like their sleeping pattern is so bonkers that I can watch their streams while I'm at work because it's 3 a.m. for them and it's 9 a.m. for me, and I'm like, girl, go to bed, please.
At least
Please.
it gives you something to do while you're at work.
It does
than
give me something
working.
to like listen to, and then I've got a couple of like an Australian streamer that I watch, and I'm like,
Oh
y'all
my god,
probably
Australia is a whole other
yeah.
ballpark. I tried to
and I was
arrange.
just like, y'all probably should be asleep, but it's fine. And then they yell at me for being awake because they're streaming at weird hours, and I'm like, I have insomnia, guys. Come on, I'm here to try and sleep.
Yeah, it's even worse now that I've started streaming at 4, or well, I think we're running this at 4:30 today, but I started streaming at 4 now because it's just a more convenient time for me. But after I've streamed, I kind of want to shut down and, you know, relax
Yeah.
and just chill out
Yeah.
and vibe for an evening. You know, I don't want to be on my computer all the time, and so I'm not all the people I used to watch on stream are now streaming like after like 8 or whatever, and I'm just there like because I log in to go chatting to people like between 12 and 3 usually, and there's no one. There is no one streaming at that time because all the Americans are asleep. It's ridiculous.
You need to find some Australians or some New Zealanders.
Oh my god.
That.
We tried to arrange a gaming session with an Australian once, and it was hell. I think we ended up playing
like not go as well as
7 a.m. for them.
Yeah.
Everyone's
hey, do you want to come play
like yelling at me, Kayla, go to bed, Kayla, go to sleep, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the office.
Yeah. What are you doing up at this time?
4 hours already.
It's midday. So you just started because you were bored. Do you want to take it anywhere? Like, do you have any hopes or dreams for it in the future now you have suddenly become affiliate and you've made all this progress over the last 7 months? Or are you just like, you know, as and when, let's just
At the
stream?
moment, I'm just vibing. At the moment, I am just vibing. Like, that partner push is a hell of a grind.
It really is.
I don't know. I have no idea if I really... Like, I think I would like to do streaming as a full-time thing.
Yeah.
But also, do I have that energy right now? The answer is very much no. I think I'm happy just doing my evening streams and my weekend streams and building the community. And then once I get that part kind of done, then maybe.
Maybe push
once
towards.
we get the viewer count a bit higher.
Yes, exactly. The average viewer count is a nightmare. I can go from like, you know, 6 to 10 people that I raid out with to 2. It varies from day to day. There's no specific days that are better than others. It's just like all over the place.
Some streams are just so quiet, and you're just like, you lose that motivation. And having a face cam, people see that. People see you look at your chat, and you're like, is there any point? And then you're like, there is a point, but also, don't know.
I think the point
and
at
then
the
you'll
end
have
of the
like
day...
people like talking all the time. So I think like when I wasn't working and I was doing like a morning stream and an afternoon stream, it was like I'd get tail end of like night shifters like American night shifts, and then the day shifts in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. And then it's finding a game that people want to watch, and then I'm like, I play a lot of different games. I play Stardew, I play Danganronpa, I play Overwatch occasionally. I play Mustaches, and that's not a very popular game, so that one can be very quiet.
Yeah.
And I've got like loads of games that I really should go back to. I've got a full library, and I think I only play I only play I think Stardew at the moment.
Oh, I'm exactly the same.
From my Steam library. I don't and Danganronpa, that's it.
Yeah, I think
I
you're
don't
preaching
think
to
I
the
play
choir
anything
here.
Yeah, I've got such a big library, and I only play The Binding of Isaac, really.
The only games I've played since I've moved here, other than obviously streaming, but like for myself, the only games that I've played for myself have been Apex Legends and RimWorld. And Apex I played one game of, and RimWorld I've spent the last like 5 nights playing.
We did start one together, then all the people died, and
yes, all the people in my RimWorld.
Yeah, I can't get my head around Apex. I thought it was going to be very much like Overwatch, and then when I was playing it with my friends, I was like, guys, I don't know what it. And then I got shot by like round the corner from something, and I was just like, where? How? What?
Apex is
and then
very
apparently
difficult.
I'm a healer. Apparently I'm a healer because I'm playing I can't remember.
The one that you start off with, the one that you do
Lifeline.
the tutorial with.
Lifeline.
Yeah, the one
Lifeline,
with the space phone. So I'm playing her, and I'm like, yeah, guys, you're gonna die because.
Yeah.
And then they're all yelling at me, Kayla, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know where I am.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know this map. This is not Overwatch.
I'd say it's less. I think it's less Overwatch. It's more. I describe it more as like Borderlands meets Call of Duty. You know. Like,
that explains everything because I couldn't get the hang of Borderlands either. And
I've never played a Call of Duty game in my life, but I adore Borderlands. So I think Apex is sort of perfect for me because I just like the movement and stuff.
Well, we have played one now. We played the 4th one on the PS4.
Oh wait, we did play Zombies. I have that tell a lie. I have played Zombies. I have played Call of Duty Zombies.
The split screen is so small that I am far too short-sighted to see what is happening.
Yeah.
Like it's the same size as a webcam on Discord, like now.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous.
And unless I'm sat right in front of the TV, then nah, not got a chance.
You're trying to read your ammo count from across the room, like
I've not played Borderlands 2, but Borderlands 2 kept giving me headaches, so I was like, well, I guess I won't be playing this anymore.
I've wanted to play 3 for ages, and for a very long time, Casper has promised me he will buy it so we can play it together. And
how much is it actually? Let me Google it now.
I have no idea how much it is, but yeah, I keep getting promises of playing Borderlands 3, which I've wanted to play since it came out, and I haven't touched once because I haven't had anyone to play with.
Oh, it's £9.31 for the director's cut on.
Get it.
On the site I haven't heard of, so I'll
That's
do
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
dodgy,
of
actually.
research.
Borderlands.
On Steam, it's
what's
like
the
50 quid,
director's?
isn't it?
Oh, it's a DLC. That's a DLC.
It's 50 quid.
50 quid.
I'm
That's
looking
the
on
new standard
CDPs
for games now, isn't it? And it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, it's £13 on Epic Games.
Do you guys remember when a AAA game used to come out and it was maximum 30 quid?
Yeah.
That used to
and
be
I'd go
a thing,
to game and I'd line up at midnight.
And I haven't been gaming for like that long. I've only been gaming for like the last like 4 years, and that was predominantly Overwatch.
What? So was Overwatch? Did you just pick up Overwatch one day and it was just like, yep, I'm Caleb the gamer now, or was it? What other games did you play? Like, if you've only been playing for the past 4 years, what sort of led you to pick up the controller in the first place?
It was Overwatch because, it was like something to play with George, and then and then he went back to World of Warcraft. So then there was something I could do, and I wasn't bored.
Yeah.
And then I dabbled in Diablo and Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I finished Diablo 3.
I've heard good
whichever
things.
one it is.
Is Diablo any
yeah,
good?
Diablo
I've
is
never
really
played
good.
it.
It is really
I
good.
think
It's
I had it
quite
on the
good.
Xbox like many years ago. I had the first one on
Yeah,
the
the
Xbox
second one's
360.
really good. I enjoyed it, and I would eventually when I get through my backlog, I'll pick it up again.
Yeah.
Hearthstone's nice to pick up, go dip in and out of. 'Cause
Is
you
that the
can
one
just-
that's a card game?
Yeah, it's the card game that's based on World of Warcraft, and then
Yeah.
during lockdown number 1, we
One
bought-
of what,
we bought-
5?
Yeah, I lost the plot.
Yeah, I
honestly.
lost the count,
We
honestly.
bought World of Warcraft for me, so I'd have something else to do
Mm-hmm.
because it's the days just roll into one then. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
games are good.
I kind of gave up on World of Warcraft with Shadowlands because it's just repetitive. The weekly
It's
quests
a
are so
grind,
repetitive,
isn't it?
and I was waiting for the next expansion to see what happens to not Jaina, Anduin and Sylvanas, and then I was like, oh, it's taken too long, and I got bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
that's
didn't
it.
want to pick up. I didn't want to pick up Classic because I was already struggling with retail, so I was like, nah.
Yeah, I only played a little bit of World of Warcraft when the free until level 20 thing came out. So I played it for free until level 20, and it's such a fucking grind, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
It is.
thought like grinding Twitch was bad or Apex was bad. It is nothing compared to the
No.
grinding of World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft is such a grind.
I
like,
adore the art. I adore the style of it. Like it's definitely got a vibe.
The graphics and the designs are really, really pretty.
Yeah, it's
And
really
the-
nice.
Yeah.
Like in Shadowlands, there's a realm called Ardenweald, and it's so beautiful. I could spend hours there. I just would get bored doing the quests.
I'm gonna
That's
look,
the
I'm
thing,
gonna
the
I'm gonna
quest
look
is
this
so-
up. What's the area called?
Ardenweald, ARDEN.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
I think. Oh yeah, that looks really nice for
it's
any
very
of our.
foresty, like fairy forest. Like it's totally my vibe.
Yeah,
you know.
no, that's really pretty. If
Um,
if any of our audio listeners want to know what the fuck we're talking
Oh,
about,
yeah, I've found
it's
it.
ARDN WEALD from World of Warcraft. But yes, that's wonderful.
I think I spelled that right. I have no idea.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
that's
you
very
did.
pretty.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, thank you for putting it in the chat. Yeah, I don't know. MMOs have always been a bit of a grind for me. Like Dungeons and Dragons there were 2 MMOs that I really enjoyed in my life. One was Dungeons and Dragons Online, which I never got very far with. I finished like the intro part every time I've played it. I've always finished the intro part, got to the main city, and started grinding in the main city, and then just gave up for some reason, and then never went back. I just closed the game one day, and then the next day never opened it again. And the second one was a game that I adored to bits called Black Prophecy, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this, Kayla or Casper, or anyone in chat or listening to this has heard of this game, because it was really obscure and then got cancelled and erased from history for some reason.
Oh wow!
And you can only find, I think now, if you Google Black Prophecy, it doesn't even come up as the first thing, but you can find like a paragraph on Wikipedia about it.
Wow. That's
I
really
think.
strange.
Oh no, it does. It is
Black
the first
Prophecy.
one. It is the first
Black
one.
Prophecy was a 3D real-time space combat, massively multiplayer online game by Rector Media, the creators of Neocron.
I have no
don't
idea
know.
what
I
Neocron
don't-
is, but basically it started open beta in February 2011, and I played it. I was on the open beta immediately because I love sci-fi stuff, And the controls, I have never played a space simulator game that controls as beautifully as that game did. Maybe it's just because I was really young and naive, so I've never really felt that kind of controls with anything or whatever.
Yeah.
But I adored the shit out of that game. And then one day I tried to launch it and I found out that they'd fucking cancelled the game and took the servers down. And I was just like,
mate.
what? Are you kidding me? Because it was so good. I adored that. And I don't know if anyone else would have ever heard of that game, but yeah. And
I'm sure you'll
other than
find someone
I haven't been
eventually.
able to pick up MMOs. I don't get the general appeal of MMO games. Even paid for ones like Elder Scrolls Online, where you would expect them to have like some kind of quality and substance to it. I've played Elder Scrolls Online, and for me, it really doesn't. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't really like MMOs purely because I'm a girl.
Ah,
The
Yeah.
second people,
That's an
the
extra
second
part of it.
people figure out that I'm a girl and that I've been helped by people of my guild who are mainly guys. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, they're all guys.
Yeah.
I'm like the cheerleader in the guild.
Wow.
The second I go and do leveling dungeons by myself, and they figure out that I'm a newbie, I'm a girl, and I'm not gonna go on voice chat, I get it's
I can imagine.
it's not very fun. So I don't play voice chat on like Overwatch unless I'm playing with friends, and then I'm just like, nah. It's fine.
The
It's
internet is a
fine.
very abusive
I don't
place.
need this.
That's really unfortunate and sad. I don't understand why that mindset exists, but it definitely with multiplayer games as well. It's horrific, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the like the view towards girl gamers is like you get all the support and the likes and like the random messages on like Instagram because you're a girl. The second you start like trying to do it professionally and you're doing games like, I don't know, like Overwatch and Escape from Tarkov and those sort of games, everyone's like, ew, no, you're a girl, you can't do that, go back to Stardew.
Yeah. Like, what? And it's ridiculous because women have existed in the competitive gaming industry for a long time, and I think it just basically comes down to fragile male egos. Especially if they get beat by a woman in an online game, and they're just like, how could a girl do this to me? Which I think probably comes from deeply rooted institutionalized sexism over a very long period of time.
Yeah, probably.
But my hope is that the world is changing, and I don't know, Kayla, as a woman, how do you think that the world and the internet has changed over the past couple of years or so? Like, have you ever seen it change, or have they always just been full of assholes?
It's always been a shit show. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's gotten worse because of like the pandemic, and everyone's very much like keyboard warriors getting to hide behind their screens under fake usernames and fake profile pictures and that sort of thing. Like, and the second anyone tries to be real, which is what I try to do, like I have borderline personality disorder. I've got a concoction of stuff happening in my brain, mental illnesses, and I try to be as real as possible. And you always get those people who are like, oh, you're trying to be so woke, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, and I'm like, hi, there is a pandemic out there. Like, mental health is really, really important because everyone is suffering. There's like wildfires going on in Australia at some point. Like, was that this year?
That was last
It was last year. I think it was like February. I think it was like February last year. And we never found out if they stopped. Like,
they probably
Is
stopped.
Australia always on fire? Is that a thing?
I don't know. If there's any Australians in chat, please. Are you always on
Googling
fire?
it. I'm Googling it.
You have all these things happening in the world, and everyone's just like, mental health illnesses doesn't exist, and you're like,
what? What?
Yeah, tell that to the millions of studies that have been going on. Tell that to me, who's currently dealing with 4 of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my god, it was 2019.
Okay.
The bushfires in Australia.
No.
Wait, what?
It was 2019.
No. They started in 2019, but they were.
Yeah,
It was.
And they've all been extinguished now.
It was start of 2020 as well. I'm fairly.
This is saying 2019. Oh, they started at the start of 2019, in July of 2019, and they finished mid 2020.
Okay.
Wow, I only started
So
hearing about it at the start of 2020.
For almost a year.
Jesus Christ.
See? I would have known that. I stopped reading the news because people are just being assholes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, and
I can't
really
read a news story without someone being really negative, and it's supposed to be like a wholesome story as well. And they're like in before this didn't happen, and I'm like, can't we just enjoy something? I don't even care if it's fake at this point. I just want to read something nice.
Yeah. It's the reason why I don't really log into Facebook or anything anymore, because people think that everything they're reading is quote unquote news, and so they turn it into a meme. So then you've just got some distant relative on Facebook somewhere posting something that they think is real from some bullshit news article that's written by someone with a WordPress account that they didn't even pay for. And
this is why I don't have any family on Facebook. This is why I've only got friends on Facebook.
I'm there for the dog pictures and the dog pictures only.
Same. I'm there for the animal pictures. Occasionally the memes, but I'm not one for offensive memes. I like
the offensive
memes of cats stealing food off plates and stuff like that.
Like this. You remember when Demi Lovato had her overdose? The meme, the memes.
Oh my god!
That came out of that. Was
the memes
absolutely atrocious.
Who the fuck would meme that? Why?
And it was straight away as well. Like
it was immediately, and I was just like,
what the fuck?
Actually,
and it was like this young woman almost died. Like and I saw one yesterday about that girl in Florida. You know, the one who it came out yesterday was murdered by her boyfriend.
Oh yeah, they went hiking or something.
I saw a meme about that and joking about people say their relationship is okay, and then it's this relationship, and it was a picture of them, and the meme was posted literally an hour after the guy was arrested for her murder.
What the fuck? Because there's one
So
thing...
I left the Facebook group it was in and just
There's one thing being desensitized to the world and to media. Like, I get it. Like, if I read an article about something bad happening to strangers, I will feel bad for them. But at the end of the day, I don't know those people, so I'm kind of desensitized to reading that kind of stuff. But it's another thing to then read that and then go on the internet, make a fucking meme about it, and post it somewhere.
And
what kind of
joke about it hours after this guy has been arrested
after
for
the
it.
Demi Lovato thing, I purged so many people off my friends list.
Oh, I do every time something like that happens. I'm the same with Twitter as well.
It was incredible how many people were liking and sharing this. I was taking notes and I was clearing my friends list. I was like, I'm not dealing with you.
No.
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
And
that's what I do every 6 months or so.
I mean, I do it anyway, but I had 3 that year. I usually do 2 a year. I got 3. I had 3 that year because I was just like, I can't trust you to know anything about my mental health if you're gonna make a meme out of someone who's, just because she's a celebrity does not mean money's gonna fix her problems. You know? People are going all when Justin Bieber came up with depression, they were like, oh, he's got all this money, why is he depressed? And I'm like, money does not actually buy a happiness, and he's got extra responsibilities to be a good role model to his 7-year-old fans.
Yeah.
While trying to grow up himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's still getting all this hate from his relationship with Selena Gomez, who clearly has moved
I
on.
forgot about that.
Like she's
I
clearly
didn't even know
like
they were in a
moved
relationship.
on. It was like in her Disney Channel days.
I
They were
think
very
it
on
was
and
like
off.
at least 5 years ago. It
Yeah,
was
they were on and off for like a
ages
really,
ago.
really long
Yeah.
time, and it was just more. It was more the fact that they were like, it's like he released a song, and they're like, oh my god, he's like really taking a dig at Selena, and Selena released a song, and they're like, oh, is this a new love interest or is it about Justin Bieber? And I'm just like, oh my god, just let them write
Just
a
like,
song.
no, they're just
Maybe they
singing
just
their
want to
song.
make some art.
And
Yeah.
honestly, the chances are neither of them wrote the songs.
Yeah.
All these people have really talented songwriters, and I know some of them write their songs as well.
Yeah.
But like they've got a team, so
They have huge teams of like 20, 30 people who write it.
And they just like, and there was like, there's a couple that everyone's like speculating was like The Weeknd, from Selena, and we're just like, I don't think no.
The Weeknd,
Yeah,
that one who do a song that was on TikTok for a bit. I can't remember what
Blinding
it was.
Lights. Yeah,
it was on TikTok for a bit.
Yeah. Like he's from what you can see from the media, he sounds like a really great like person to like be in a relationship. Like she's got lupus, so she had a transplant, an organ transplant that her best friend donated to her, and he was there in the hospital with her and that sort of thing. But then on the flip side, you get these other stories where he dumped her and then got back with Bella Hadid literally 2 weeks later. And you're like, but by the time these stories actually come out, these things can have happened a while ago.
Oh yeah, they would have happened months and months ago, but they don't want to
some-
publish their private life, do they?
Some news articles just recycle stories as if they're a new thing that's happened. I've seen that happen before as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. BuzzFeed are the worst.
A new article published
Sorry,
yesterday
BuzzFeed,
is
if
the
you're
same
watching,
article
I
from 5
apologize.
I don't. Fucking BuzzFeed, man.
It's only because I do read BuzzFeed articles and I do the BuzzFeed quiz.
Oh yeah, I do the quizzes.
I'm always on the quizzes. And
if you want an apology from me, then you're gonna have to pay me for it.
Yeah, I'll still do the quizzes, but I don't read their shitty non-news.
I haven't done a BuzzFeed
I
quiz
don't
in
read
a
the
long
celebrity
time.
news. I will read the actual news from like the BuzzFeed news sites. I won't read BuzzFeed. I won't read the BuzzFeed celebrity ones because I think I'm past the point of caring unless it involves someone that I'm really like interesting, like Taylor Swift or I don't know, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And even then, I'll take it with a pinch of salt because it's Taylor Swift and everyone seems to have a go at her when she has literally done nothing wrong.
Like, she's
really
trying to live her life with her cats. Let her live.
It really irritates me. Like she writes like these badass award-winning breakup songs, and then she's like, everyone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she's written another breakup song." I'm like, Ed Sheeran's literally wrote the album, and Adele wrote the album of it.
That's what Ed Sheeran does. And like,
God. And then she'll bring out like, she brought out Lover, and everyone's like, "There's no breakup songs on this," and I'm like, "Duh, she's with Joe Alwyn. She's been with him for like 3 years. Come on."
I found that when it comes to like celebrity news, I'm just not really that interested in what people do with their lives, you know? Like I find, because there's a very dark, poisonous side of celebrity news articles and sites like BuzzFeed and stuff, where they will hound these people. They will wait outside their houses and take photos of them in like the worst possible situations just so they can
or
get
if their kid.
Or of their kids, which is even worse.
Specifically said they're not going to post their kids online.
Yeah, exactly.
I think John Green did that.
It's horrific.
Like, and it would have been about 10 years ago now, but I seem to remember he was like, "I'm never going to post pictures of my kids because I want them to have normal lives."
Yeah, I've never really.
And like Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik, they don't post their kids, and I'm sure there's some celebrities who've changed the names of their kids.
Yeah.
So they'll post the pictures of their kids. They may put a sticker over their face. They may not. but they changed the names. So even though people know what they look like, they'd never get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd never want, like, if I was to ever have children, I would never want that kind of attention on them. And I can definitely see why these celebrities hide their children. Then
I
you've
could
got
never
on the
be
flip
a family
side,
vlogger.
This is something that we could talk about. Actually, that's a nice segue, Casper. Thank you. Into, did you guys? Because we haven't done a podcast episode in a month, so there's a bunch of stuff we could talk about. But a recent thing that I did see. Did you guys
see that girl and the dead
that
dog?
That woman who was recording her child, and I think their dog was dying or something, and
It's okay now, but it was very poorly.
the dog's okay now. Okay, that's
the dog's okay, but it had eaten something.
And
anyway, that's irrelevant. The dog was poorly.
The dog is fine. No, I'm glad that the dog is fine. Anyway, the dog was poorly and might maybe have died, and this mother was recording her kid crying without his face blurred or anything. I've only seen versions with the face blurred because I've watched commentary channels talk about it, and they're respectful enough to actually blur the kid's face, which is good.
Kind of irritate me, like when parents video their autistic children or something
good
like
Lord,
that, having a meltdown. And
I have come across a lot of people like that.
Instead of using it one, I don't understand why they're videoing it in the first place, unless it's to show a family member, this is what happens if you do this, and now you can hear me tell them how to come out of it.
Calm down,
That is the only reason I can imagine someone videoing it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But put it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I could never do that. I know I would put pictures of my kids up on Instagram and that sort of thing. But I don't, and I probably would become, because I'm very I like to be real. I would very much be like that person who would be like, today, my BPT kicked my ass, and my child decided to shit in the bath and paint on the walls and throw their spaghetti across the room and hit the dog in the face. So,
that is very specific.
That's very specific. I love it.
Very, very specific.
Yeah, but
has this happened to you before?
No, I don't have kids yet. But it's just something I can imagine. I would have a selfie of me and my kids, pouting at each other or something.
Yeah.
And then just a little bit of a description of parenting is not great. It's not all boys, and it's not all smiles, and as much as you love giving your kids cuddles, sometimes you just want to chuck them in the bin.
Yeah.
And having grown up in childcare, mum and dad had to work full time, so I was always at a childminder, and I was always the oldest. I have almost raised other people's children.
Yeah.
So, and they've I watched my old childminders. Two kids grow up, and I'm like, God, that makes me feel old.
I'm exactly the same with my friends' little brothers and sisters.
The second one of them turned 16, I was like, oh my God.
It's like, nope, you're 5 forever.
You are, yeah. And when her oldest turned 20 or 20, when he turned 21, I just went, nope, no, we're not dealing with it. Shut off Facebook, shut it all off. I'm off. Stop the world. I want to get off. I'm done. Because I've known this kid since he was 4. No, since he was 2. I've known that kid since he was 2.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers when you watch other people's kids grow up, and I know I know how it is trying to raise a child. Because they don't give a shit. They're like, I want to go outside, and you're like, no, it's like torrential rain. There's 3 sinkholes in the garden.
And they're like, no, I want to go on the trampoline.
And you're like, no, because you'll go through and go into the sinkhole.
Yeah.
And I'll never get you out. That's where you die.
Oh, children.
Yeah. I had that feeling again recently, but not with a kid, but with my best friend who I met in high school, and things all came to sort of full circle because I saw a video of his wedding yesterday. Well, not yesterday, a couple of weeks ago, And I just watched that like, holy fucking shit. I've known this guy for so long. And now I'm watching him get married. This is so weird. It's
strange.
It's
strange.
a bit mind bending.
People turn into proper adults.
And then their lives change. It's such a it's nice. I like it. But yeah, there's a difference, I think, between.
Here?
So
I don't know. We were talking about
the family vlogger and her dog.
Not her dog, her child. So the family vlogger filmed her child crying, and then afterwards she didn't edit out the bit where she was telling her kids to pose for the thumbnail whilst they were still crying.
More upset or something.
Yeah, she kept saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, look more upset, pout a little bit, like put your hand over your face, but let them see your tears, let them see your mouth and stuff," and just trying to get a thumbnail out of it. And it's just sickening.
And it's just like, why, if your child is upset, it's the same with
if you're gonna do that, why the fuck would you have children? Other than you're obviously just having kids to make money out of recording them. Yeah. Because like, look at all these family vloggers that make a shit ton of money out of pregnancies and stuff. Then they put like the pregnant woman in the front of the thing, the thumbnail every time, and it's just some little update about the pregnancy or whatever, because they can milk their child for all the money that the internet will throw at them.
I do understand why. I do understand why some people do like pregnancy vlogs to like.
Oh yeah, no, like there's a difference between educational and interesting and literally milking your children for views. Yeah, you know, literally milking your children for views is not very nice.
And it's always the families that do like a vlog every day that film their kids upset and film their autistic kids having meltdowns. And like, if your child is upset, why don't you go and comfort them instead of shoving a camera in their face, love?
That's probably why they're upset.
Yeah.
Just be honest about it. That's probably why they're upset.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what happens when these children like grow up and get
it's gonna
to,
be
like,
really
40.
weird.
It's like Gwyneth Paltrow's child, like daughter. What's her name? Apple. I think her name is Apple. Sure. Like now that she's old enough to have Instagram, whenever Gwyneth Paltrow puts a picture up, even if it's with like ski helmets on or something, Gwyneth will always put this like cheesy caption, and Apple's just like, "Mom, no, take it down. We discussed this. Like literally, we discussed this."
Yeah.
And then you got parents like Gordon Ramsay who clearly have asked their who like getting involved with what their kids do. Like, he's always doing TikTok videos.
He's on TikTok with his daughter and
it's great.
She's got a TV show now on CBBC. It's like it's a bit like a family vlog as far as I know.
Yeah,
and
but
it's just
nice
about
because Tilly has chosen that life.
Yeah,
and Gordon is very much like, I will support you with whatever you do. So I know the other two, I think he's got like 3, maybe 4
Yeah,
kids.
He's got quite a big family.
Yeah, so but some of the other kids, they're just very much like, don't point that thing at me. I don't want to do this. Like, leave me be.
Yeah,
and then you got Tilly, who's very much like, I want to be like my dad.
He's like, yes, I want a TV show.
I want to do TikToks with my dad. I want to actually have a relation, like, show what our relationship is like. And I think it's really nice that he was willing to support both sides of that spectrum, where some of his kids are just like, nope, and he's got some of his family who are like, let's go all out, sort of thing. And I think it's really nice that they got that option and it's not forced on them.
It's respecting the choice,
and the privacy isn't forced on them either. So like, I know when you're like babies, like, it's better to force that privacy, but once they get to an older stage and they're like, oh, so that's what my parents do, before and there's privacy, if they want to be involved, they should have that conversation, even if it's before they've come of age. Once you hit high school, you're old enough to make your own decisions, albeit most of them are probably going to be dumb. But
that's how you learn.
But that's how you learn, and you'll still have the guidance. So if you say, "Hey, can we try out me doing a video with you, Mum?" and then they decide, actually, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
But then they can still decide if they want to keep that video up on YouTube or up on Twitch or wherever it goes, and everyone's privacy is intact.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's...
I just wish people wouldn't save things and like screen grab things that are not theirs. Like, I know it's a public, once you put it up there, it's a public forum, but that level of privacy is still there.
Yeah.
So
I think
I choose what to put on my Instagram. I choose to let people know
because it's your choice, because you're an adult.
Yeah, what happened in my relationship, what's happened in the last like 3 months, and what is going on. But I choose when I post that, and then if I decide like the next day, actually I don't think I want anyone else to see it, I can archive it, I can delete it. I usually archive it because then when my brain stops being a pain in my ass, I will be then like, oh, actually that wasn't so bad, I can put that back up, instead of reading it and then everyone being like, did we miss a thing? What happened?
Well, that's your choice
like,
as an adult.
And then it's like tucked away on that on the feed, and it's not back on people's news feeds, so people don't feel like they've missed the thing, and they'll just be like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I think it's about from the parent's perspective. I think it's about whether or not you view your child as a person or as your property. Because if you view your child as your property, what you're going to do is try and milk them for as much money as possibly can on the internet. If you're like doing family vlogs and stuff, and that is super horrific. And even if we take out like, because this isn't a new thing, the whole thing with like family vlogs and stuff, that is the modern day like answer to it. But treating your children as your property has been a thing for many years. You're my child, so you can't do this. You're my child, so you have to do that. And if you do that,
it creates the wrong impression for young people who want families as well, and they're like, it creates that impression like, this is what family life will be, and they edit out the fact that your child is not going to sleep for 8 hours a night and will not go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning because they decided, well, their body's decided they're going to teeth at that point, or something like that. And they'll edit out the bathroom accidents, the temper tantrums in the supermarket when you're just trying to go get milk. You know, like you see it all the time, but because everyone's so invested on social media, they follow all of these bloggers, they follow all these Instagram influencers. I still don't really know why influencers are a thing, but
neither do I. It confuses me.
It's beyond my comprehension, so I've just left it.
Well,
but like you see all of this online, and people forget that the real world exists, and people have lived online for 18-20 months, nearly 2 years, you know, and they forget that kids will be kids, and they don't actually like having a camera shoved in their face.
Well, it's like what Casper said before with what are these kids going to be like when they're adults? And
they're either going to have real anxiety, or they're going to have an ego as like
exactly. Because if you've grown up this whole time with your parents' faces being replaced by cameras, what does that do to you? And I think you're right. Like, it's either going to make you incredibly egotistical, or it's going to make you so anxious about everything you do because you constantly feel like everything you do is going to be seen by potentially thousands of people.
Sometimes millions, because a lot of these family vloggers have millions and millions of followers.
I still don't understand how they managed to do that.
I know.
I'm still boggled at the fact that 700 people want to follow me on Twitch. I don't think
maybe I need to start vlogging my day.
See,
I think I'd be boring.
I think I'd like to do that, but it's just the editing. I can't edit. I don't know how
Yeah,
to edit.
editing's a
I don't
long
think
Yeah.
I'd want
process.
to.
You
Sounds really
can
draining.
teach yourself online. It's not that difficult.
It's easy
I
to
don't
teach
think-
yourself,
But,
but it's long. It's a long,
It's a
long
long
process.
and if you've got
Yeah.
if you've
I
got
can't
to do all the
imagine.
filming as well,
Yeah.
nah.
I can't imagine how long it'd take to edit, like, hours and hours worth of a day's footage.
to get
like-
it into 20 minutes. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it must take these people's teams of editors because they hardly ever do it themselves.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
the same
Like,
thing. Like I
tried
record
doing
some
a
of my live
day
streams
in a live
sometimes, and it's-
TikTok, and I was just like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I did. I think I did one, and I was just like trying to get like a 2-second clip of things that I was doing during the day. It was just like
Yeah.
you get so into your day that I forgot. I'd have
Yeah.
to like go back and be like, right now I've got to recreate my dinner.
Yeah.
Or like
You got to
recreate-
pretend that you're making a cup of tea.
Yeah.
and it feels
And
so disingenuine
it
to do
yeah,
the
it
second
feels
shot
really fake.
of something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have to have like try and get your product placements if you've been approached by someone and you're like, oh my god, I just wanna just not.
Yeah, I just
You
want to
know?
make a cup of tea. I don't want to record myself
I
doing it
don't-
3
Yeah.
times in a row
No,
to
I
get the
don't
perfect
want
shot.
to. I don't want to like. I don't want to advertise like I don't know Typhoo or something like that. That was the
Yeah.
first one that came to my head.
Yes.
But I don't want. It's not like something I want to advertise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, especially if I have to really think about it as well. Like think about making a cup, like filming myself making a cup of tea.
Hmm.
You know, like
Yeah, and it's constant. It would be constantly on your brain. I've never done vlogging. I've never done vlogging at all, but let alone like daily vlogging. But I imagine
Yeah.
you would be constantly thinking about how is this gonna look on camera?
Yeah.
Am I getting this shot right? Should I be filming this
And-
right now? And I would hate to have that kind of pressure on my day-to-day life.
Do I have like acne or do I have is like is
Have I got
my
food
eyes
still in my
is
stomach?
Oh my
makeup
god,
okay?
imagine having to wake up every morning and think to yourself, am I camera ready right now?
Yeah.
The answer to that is no.
And they
I'm
probably
never
won't,
camera
like-
ready and I stream
Well,
every
never.
weekday.
I stream and I used to like in the beginning I would do my makeup and I'd wear like a really like a nice outfit and then it got to a point where I'm like I'm just comfortable not
Yeah,
wearing
man.
makeup. I don't always want to have I mean a lot of my selfies are filtered but that's because I have body dysmorphia. But
Yeah.
but even though I have that, I'm still okay enough to just be in a baggy t-shirt and no makeup and my hair
Yeah.
up in some sort of curly
Yeah.
greasy bun thing because I haven't had the energy
Yeah.
to wash it for a week and a half. I don't know. It's been that kind of life right at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you still get like your regulars who are like, oh, you look great, and I'm like, trust me, you can't see this side of my face.
Yeah.
The light, my ring light hides all the scarring and stuff. But if I'm not wearing makeup, like I've actually attempted makeup today, it's very very minimal.
Yeah.
But you can't really see it anyway with where the distance I sit, and usually my camera is quite small in the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, they're only gonna see me if I go into my just chatting screen, and I don't actually do just chatting segments, really,
Yeah.
because you know it's either gonna be at the beginning or it's gonna be at the end when I don't have a lot of viewers or chatters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it's at the end, you've just got a bunch of lurkers,
Yeah.
and it's the reason I turned off my viewer count because I don't want extra
Oh,
anxiety of like have I got people watching, have I got this, like I may click it quickly when I'm starting just to see if I've got more than myself in the chat. The second that thing goes up to 2, I will come off my starting screen and I'll be like, yo, what's up, and get myself in the game.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one of my
start
primary pieces of advice to people on Twitch is turn off your fucking viewer
Turn
count.
Turn
Yeah.
it off. Do not put it on.
Do not
pretend-
look at it.
Yeah, just pretend you are talking to people, like 100 people. Like
Hmm.
that's what people will come for. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't. like it's hard. It's hard when you don't have chatters and you've just got your regulars who are lurking because they're at work or they're dealing with their pets or their kids or something, and they just want you on in the background. And it is really hard when you don't have the chatters. But if you act as if you're talking to like 100 people, that's when you get the raids, because people have like, you make pop up in their suggestions and they're like, oh, they're really animated and they're playing Stardew and they look really like they're having a great time.
Yeah.
And or they'll find you because they're just like, oh, what's this game category? And then you're like, and the way, however way they've sorted their list, you're there and they can see that you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that you've only got 3 viewers.
Yeah.
You're streaming as if you've got 300.
For
and
me,
then when they bring their raids, like they can see the actual genuine
because you're actually
appreciation.
talking.
Appreciation, the genuine appreciation, or if you haven't got a cam, they can hear the genuine appreciation of them raiding you and them trusting a fellow streamer with their community.
Yeah.
And it's really nice when they bring like someone like their community from a game that I don't necessarily play. So if they brought like their, I don't know, if they brought their RimWorld or their Minecraft community to my Overwatch or Danganronpa stream, and it's very interesting when they bring people to the Danganronpa stream, because if I don't know what's going on, I have no hope for you guys. Like I spend 80% of those Danganronpa streams very confused or swearing at a character. Like
1 second, I'm just gonna Google this game because I've not got a clue. How do you spell it? Dangan. Found it.
It's a really great game.
I remember when I first came into your streams, Kayla, I think you were playing Super Meat Boy.
Oh my god, that fucking game!
That fucking game! And I was so happy to see another British streamer, because I knew you were British, because one of the first things I heard you say was like
oh bloody hell!
Yeah, bloody hell, or piss off or something. In that way that only a British person can say it. And I clicked on the stream and I just saw and heard that, and I was just like, yes, this is where I want to be.
that game though, I do need to go back to it, but by God.
Oh my God, it looks so difficult.
The only
I've
reason
still not played it.
The only reason I'm playing it is because a fellow British streamer, Clammy, he was playing it because he's a platinum trophy hunter on PS4 and PS5, and he was playing it, and I'd missed the entire. So I only saw like the last few levels. And then when he finally platinumed it, because he was grinding that for a while.
Yeah, get your 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, so I was like, it's okay. It looks cool. I'll get it. I think I'm on the 3rd world, and it's literally called Hell.
Accurate.
It's very accurate. I haven't played it since my charity stream in June. So
yeah.
You know, like I cannot. I'll get back to it eventually. And he also was playing like a game called Balan Wonderworld, and it's a bonkers game. Like honestly, it's a Square Enix game, and it's really different to like Final Fantasy. But I may or may not want to play it. I don't know why, but as soon as I get through some of this like list, it is on my wish list, and I'm like, am I gonna?
I stopped being able to keep up with the games I wanted to play such a long time ago. And then suddenly they all come out or whatever, and I realized I've been looking forward to this game for years, but I just completely forgot about it because I've just got so many games on my list, man, and it's just ridiculous.
Like one of the first games I started streaming, it was Overwatch and Ori and the Blind Forest. I've been stuck on Ori and the Blind Forest for months. I might have to, if I ever go back to it, I'm gonna have to start a new game because I have no idea how I got to where I am and how to get out.
Yeah.
I have no idea, and it's one of those things. I haven't been on that game for like a good 2 months, so I wouldn't even know where to begin in looking for a walkthrough. So it's just as well. I'm just like, I'm just gonna start again, and keep it on a low difficult, like an easy difficulty, and I'll treat it as my first playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delete the other save.
It's a dangerous path though, Kayla. I'll tell you now, because of the amount of times I've started and restarted games because I got stuck. What you end up doing is starting the game, getting stuck at a different point before the first time you got stuck, then leaving it again.
I know I've done
then
this.
Starting
I know I
it
did
again.
it. You leave it for another couple of months, and they're like, "Oh, I'll go back to it." There's another game that I was gonna restart. Is Ori. Oh, I can't remember this. And there was another game that I was gonna. Oh, Gris. I love the game Gris. It's such a beautiful non-dialogue game, and it goes through the stages of grief. I just happened to just accidentally stop playing it, and it's been a few months. So, but this is one of those games that I will absolutely not mind starting again, because the entire soundtrack is so beautiful. I could listen. You can find it on Spotify. And I listen to it to try and sleep. You know, like it's one of those sort of like soundtracks. So
there are
that's
some
on my list to
beautiful
start
soundtracks
again.
out there, honestly.
Yeah, the Zelda soundtracks are always beautiful.
Yeah,
I find
like,
video
I like
game
the
and
lo-fi
movie
versions.
soundtracks
I really like lo-fi versions of
amazing
gaming
listening. They're really great. They're just really great listening because they're supposed to make you feel something within the scene.
Yeah.
Like if it's a movie soundtrack or if it's a game soundtrack, like you've got awe-inspiring music for like these beautiful scenes that are going on.
The Gris soundtrack really. I cried. I cried with some of the songs, like the first few songs of Gris.
Yeah.
And I cried at the beginning of Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori and the Blind Forest does look like a very pretty game.
It's a very beautiful game, and the beginning broke my heart. And the only reason I haven't started again is because I don't think I can deal with it right now.
Yeah.
I don't need my heart broken again. Not by that game.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed Life is Strange: True Colors recently, and it's got some beautiful music to accompany some wonderful colors and graphics with it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what they do is have
Life is Strange
licensed
1 and 2.
music in it.
I've got Life is Strange 1 and 2. They were free, and I was like, okay,
wow.
I'll go get those. I don't
Yeah.
understand how they were when.
Oh, they're great.
I don't remember when it was. So they're also on my very long list.
One was shite, but
I just go through like my wish list, and then I'm like, oh, these are free. Let's download them so I can actually have them. I did that with Little Nightmares. That was free, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck on a bit.
I got stuck on Little Nightmares, and I never went back to it.
I've watched a full playthrough of it, and I was just like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then the person I was watching, she's taking a streaming break, like a full Twitch break from like everything, and I'm like, I don't know how to do the thing, and I don't want. I'd rather ask someone who's played it rather than go look on YouTube, because
Which part?
Yeah.
Where am I? I'm at I think it's like near the end, like the kitchen part where you have to go up in the lift and go get a key, and then you have to go back down and try not to get caught by the chef. I always seem to get caught by the chef. Because
I know the bit you mean.
I can't get through the door. I don't know how to get through the door. You don't have time to get through the door.
I think if you sneak round him whilst holding the key, you can use the key to unlock the thing. But then later on, you have to climb the plates that are in the sink in the center of the room, And that's what really stuck me was because I couldn't figure it out. There's some fucking plates you have to climb up, and there is no direction to.
There is
no,
absolutely no direction in this game. Like,
there's no arrow. There's not even any lighting. Sometimes it's like, what am I supposed to do here?
There was one part where like it was in the big kitchen, and I'm like running up down, and then I realized you have to climb up the fucking cabinet to get to the top, like on the roof, and go across the rafters. And I was like, why?
What?
And then you got the way you have to follow the bins, and when me and my friend were playing it, all you could hear was in our British accents, follow the bin, follow the bin. Why are you not following the bin? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Get by the bin, follow the bin.
It's really, really difficult. I really struggle with games with no direction whatsoever.
Absolutely.
That don't, like, at least tell you what button's which. Yeah, so I kind of gave up on Little Nightmares, but I have watched numerous people play through it, and it looks fun, but I think it's just a bit too difficult for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you mentioned a bin, and my brain immediately went to Trash Panic, and now I'm looking up if you can play Trash Panic on PC.
I think there is a way you can use PlayStation Now on your PC, but I've not worked it out yet, and I've had it for almost a year.
I wouldn't know.
Let me Google it. Play. Oh, I can't spell PlayStation Now on PC. It's been searched before by me, so. Oh, there's an app. Wait. Let me link it in the Discord.
If anyone doesn't know what Trash Panic is, by the way, it is this really obscure game that Casper got me into that I think was on the PS3, and it's essentially Tetris, but you have trash, and you need to smash the trash in the bin and make sure that the trash doesn't fall out of the bin. And it's so fucking weird. It's this really strange, obscure Japanese game, and I really want to play it on stream. I like really badly, but I don't know.
I've just linked you to how to play PlayStation Now.
Okay.
On PC, it's an app, and you need to use the PlayStation controller, obviously.
Okay, well, I'll try and attempt that afterwards. How did we get to Trash Panic? Sorry. Oh yeah, bins. Little Nightmares. Yeah, I think you just need to take the key to the door. He does it automatically, but it's a bit of a fiddly. Oh, Phasmophobia. Yeah, I've seen you
I played that once, and I didn't see a singular ghost apart from when Zenith chucked a cup at me. I was very disappointed. I signed up for ghosts, and I didn't even see one.
Was that because you were playing amateur, by any chance?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
I think
it might have been.
I
can't remember.
I don't remember. It was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I was the last one alive. And I was just wandering around, going in and out of these prison cells for literally 45 minutes real time.
Yeah.
To find something, and then eventually...
and the asylum are like my worst maps.
Yeah.
I hate them.
And then eventually we gave up because I spent so long looking for this thing, and
the first round we did, we were in a house, right? We were in the first. I think it's just like the first sort of map. Like that tiny little house, like it's just your normal house that you walk around, right? We all died, apart from Casper. And we spent the next 40 minutes trying to throw things at Casper to tell him how to get down the stairs. Because his flashlight ran out, and it was pitch black.
It was pitch black, and I'm really bad with directions in all sorts of life, but especially
and we
video
couldn't just
games.
tell him, because obviously we were dead, so we couldn't talk over the mic or anything. So we were all just yelling at him like, Casper, please go down the stairs. We've been trapped
and then
here for
eventually
40
you
minutes.
came up to my room. You came up to my room and did it for me.
I just had to point out where the stairs were because it was taking so long. I have no idea how the ghost didn't kill you.
Yeah, every Friday, me and a couple of my American friends, we do Phasmophobia. We are called the Booty Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
We have merch and everything.
Oh my god,
great.
do you actually?
I do. I don't the hat I have is in the wash and the t-shirt's
Oh.
in my bedroom, and I can't be bothered to go get it up and get it, honestly.
damn.
But it's
Well, that's
really
cool.
fun.
I've seen you advertise the booty hunters on your Instagram a fair
Yeah,
amount,
it's
but
so
it's nice that you
fun,
guys have
and
got merch now.
It's the new update is so fucking scary. Like
Yeah.
I'm not. This is the only like proper horror game that I can play. I can deal. Actually, well, I tried Pacify. I lasted 20 minutes.
What did you think of Amnesia: The Dark Descent? I did end up going back and watching your VOD, by the way, because I remember I was the one. I remember I was the one who redeemed the channel point thing to get you to play it.
Yeah, I have. Where did I get to? I finally got to a part where things started to go really weird.
Yeah.
And I started to see like the monster sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I was like, nope, not doing it, not dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I have not gotten back.
Oh.
It's on my list of things I will go back to when life stops being a pain in my ass.
Oh, mate,
Yeah.
trust me, it only gets more scary.
Oh, great. I'll just
Not-
make sure that I don't play it with the lights off.
Oh, that would add to it. The first time I played Amnesia: The Dark Descent, I did play it in like complete darkness.
Why?
Just by myself in my room. Because I wanted to torture myself, apparently. And oh my god.
I do that with Phasmophobia, but
I
at
am
least I'm playing with people.
traumatized.
I do that sometimes. I'll be in the dark and I'll just have my spooky green
Yeah.
color for my ring light.
Mm-hmm.
But then Doc knows that I've done that, and then he'll yell. He'll just like do the really weird ghost noise right in my ear because his
Yeah.
character is stood behind me. So I may or may not have cussed him out a few times, but he still loves me, so it's fine. But
Yeah, at
it's
least
hilarious doing the booty hunters,
Phasmophobia,
and then
testing friendships.
It is. It
Yeah.
really does. It's not
Especially
so much
when
the
it
injury.
takes me 40 minutes to get down some stairs.
It's not even testing my ability, like my friendship with Drew. It's testing my friendship with Doc. It's purely testing my capability of tolerating his bullshit when it comes to ghosts. Every other thing, he's great and he's like been so supportive, but the second we start booty hunting, he decides now it's time for Kayla's heart to die. And I'm like, great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think I need to play it again because
Yeah, I would love to play Phasmophobia.
maybe my one experience
I haven't
wasn't.
played it as much as I'd like.
Especially if there's an update now, I assume it
There
will
is
be better.
a massive update. There's new equipment, a new map.
There is two
There's
new
new
types
ghosts.
of ghost
New
apparently,
ghosts. Yeah,
according to my Steam.
yeah. Oh my
And-
god, I think I've encountered one more than the other. What? That's not the one. Expert. There we go. Nope. This one. So the new ghost, the Myling
Yeah.
is not my friend. I've encountered the Myling more often than the other new ghosts, because you've got
Yeah.
the Hantu, the Yokai, the Goryo, and the Myling. They're like the newer ghosts. I've encountered the Myling more often than any of those, and yeah, they aren't fun.
No.
I don't like the fact that they now sing. All the ghosts, if they start hunting,
They
start-
sing.
they'll hum "Ring a Ring Around the Roses,"
Oh my god.
Why?
and they'll go.
Okay, that does
And-
sound quite scary actually.
And I hadn't heard it before the update, because it was a thing in the before the main update, and I'd never heard it, so I was like, y'all are just joking with me. And then
Yeah.
then it was a thing. Then it was a proper thing.
Yeah.
The spirit box is no longer a robotic voice. It is actually a ghost talking to you.
Ooh,
and
that adds to it, I think. The robotic
and
voice is
yeah.
really weird.
And it's not even, it doesn't even say like the normal things like behind or death or something like that. It'll literally, if you ask it, where are you? It'll go, I'm behind you.
Oh.
And at that point, I've dropped the spirit box and I'm out. I'm gone.
I think a
I'm not
good
dealing
part
with
of
it.
the fear comes from the immersive experience with it. And they've
yeah,
only
yeah,
ever
it's
tried
very-
to improve on that, I think. That being said,
yeah.
you can make your character bend in the most unnatural way. And watching
or
my
you
friends
spawn-
flip their
You
torso back and
spawn
forth.
inside
it's really
your
funny.
other character, your friends' characters, and you're just like seeing the inside of like
Yes,
their mouth, and you're just like,
or the perspective is
like,
really
you're-
off, and you look like you're like at their chest height, and they're actually like really tall. I've had that
Yeah.
happen a couple of
Yeah.
times.
yeah, you just spawn inside them, and you're like, y'all need to floss. And you're just like, no, I need to reverse. It's fine. But it's so immersive. The new equipment and the new look of the equipment is really amazing as well. Like, it's been in production less time than Ghost Hunter Corp, but it's a lot better than Ghost Hunter Corp design wise, like, and mechanics wise.
Would you ever go on a real ghost hunt in real life?
I don't have a choice. Doc said as soon as he has the money to fly me out, I have to go, because Doc used to be a professional ghost hunter.
Oh,
like, in real
wow.
life.
Oh,
So now I
nice.
don't have, because I ghost hunt with him on video games. I no longer have a choice. The second he can afford to fly me
Yeah.
out there,
Now you
I
must
have
ghost
to
hunt
go.
in
I
real
have
life.
to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
like, bold of you to assume my anxiety can deal with that. Bold of you to assume I will survive.
Yeah.
Because even if the ghosts do not exist, like I'm on the border of whether they exist or not.
Yeah.
Even if they don't show up at this point, I will be so wired and freaked out that I
Yeah.
will think
Mhm.
that like a rabbit or something in the grass out the back is gonna be a thing, like a
Yeah.
supernatural spirit
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
I won't sleep ever again.
I'm
Like, I don't
fairly
sleep
confident I'm fairly confident we have a ghost in this house. We've just moved in over in the last month. And I'm very confident that we do actually have a ghost in this house. If we're sat outside in the garden, there is this thing that occasionally happens where that sounds like knocking from exactly where the kitchen window is. It sounds exactly
Yeah.
like knocking on glass. And you look over the
no.
kitchen window, there's nothing there, but the knocking can be heard. And it's never when you're looking at the kitchen window. You could just hear it,
You
look
don't
at it,
happen
and
to have
there's
a
nothing
tree
there.
outside your kitchen window, do
Yep.
you?
No.
Yeah, we
no,
do.
There's no
But
trees.
there is a tree outside the kitchen window. We've
Yeah,
got a
but
tree.
it doesn't touch the kitchen
It's
window.
not
It's not
touch-
close enough to
Oh,
I
it's
was
not
gonna say
touching
it's
it,
not
no.
touching.
It's not
That's
touching
the
it.
only
It
thing-
sounds
that's
like
the
it's
only thing
actually
I could think
knocking.
of.
Yeah.
It doesn't
And
sound.
it's
We
not
can't
the
hear
house.
it.
'Cause I've
When
got
we're in the
bushes
house,
outside
we can't
my
hear it.
front window, and I get that a lot, but
Yeah.
I know it's the bushes.
When we're in the house, we never hear it. But when we're outside, it sounds like someone is inside the house knocking on the bathroom window to get our attention. And also, Casper was up here on a little spinny chair. We were playing video games together in my room, and he was up here on a little spinny chair, and it turned by itself with him on it.
I was sat there like,
and that
"Did you
was
just spin me?"
really fucking weird.
And
That was very strange.
it was very strange, yeah.
So yeah, we might be haunted, but I'm happy about that. As long as the ghost is not a dickhead, it's all good. We can
Yeah, but
quote unquote,
I
live
I
together.
would just be mad that they're not paying rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
The only
mean,
thing, I'd be like, y'all living here rent free, like contribute something, and without the scary noises.
Yeah. Bring home some loo roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had other sort of weirdly ghostly experiences. Like I've been pushed out of a graveyard. Like me and my mother went visiting this churchyard just to have a look around because churchyards are quite pretty. And we were just wandering through it. And we got the gate open and we were about to leave, and suddenly the gate just pushed me out. Like I physically felt being
You are not welcome
yeeted
here.
from that fucking graveyard, and I was like, holy shit, that's so creepy.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything. I know some people have stories of like seeing lights or faces or figures. I've never really seen anything other than you obviously like either sleep paralysis demons, I've seen those, or
Yeah.
so if you see something out the corner of your eye, or if you see something
I
in the
get that all
dark,
the time.
like a coat or whatever. But that's never like really a thing. That's always has some kind of explanation. I've never physically seen like something there, you know? I know some people have. I do see stuff out the corner of my eye a lot that's kind of freaky, but
Oh yeah,
we own
so
a
do
cat,
I. I
so-
constantly think of people
It could
stood
just be
next to
him.
me.
yeah. Oh, have you ever had that feeling when you're alone in a room of being of something is in the room with you? Not necessarily behind you, but you can just feel something there.
I have, but it is usually the cat. Like,
yeah,
like,
fair.
I live completely
sometimes.
alone, so when I get that feeling, I'm like, doors are locked, windows are locked,
Yeah.
hide
Yeah.
under covers.
It's a
I'm not
creepy
dealing
feeling,
with
yeah.
my life.
Mhm. Another really, really terrifying one is: have you ever had someone whisper your name just as you're about to fall asleep?
I don't get it when I'm falling asleep. It's usually when I'm out.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
I've
I'll
only
hear
ever had it
someone
when
say
I'm.
my name, and I'm like, I'm the only Kayla. I'm the only Kayla that I know
Mhm.
around here.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'll look around, and it's no one I recognize, and I'm like,
Mm.
no.
No, I've
it.
had
Moving on.
it's usually it's usually a feminine voice, but I've only ever had it like 2 or 3 times in my life. But it's usually a feminine voice, and it's as I close my eyes to go to sleep, I will hear this voice whisper my name in my ear, like someone's lying right next to me. And if that happens, that's it. I'm not sleeping that night. I turn the
Yeah.
light on, I go play video games, and I just sit in my brightly lit room until morning and then go to sleep then, because it's
Yeah.
not happening tonight. Anyway, that's a bunch of creepy things.
Yeah.
And that's only because I started talking about Phasmo.
Mate.
So I don't
yeah.
know how
It's a good game.
we diverted to graveyards.
That is the
But
that is the disorganized mess that is the nature of our podcast, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love it. Well, we've been going for an hour and a half, and unless there's
Oh, wow.
anything specific you guys want to talk about, I was thinking of wrapping it up. But is there anything that you guys would like to talk about before we wrap
I
things
think
up?
I think something that we should talk about, because we've spoken about it before,
Yeah.
is that the court case about trans kids not being allowed blockers has been
Tavistock.
revoked completely.
Yes, the Tavistock court case that we
Yay.
were talking about before.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I've missed that entire news story because I don't own a TV. So I don't
neither-
watch the news.
oh, we
and
do.
I
Well, that's
stay
probably
away. I stay away from Facebook and Twitter news. I just scroll for literally dog pictures and penguin pictures and cats. That's what I have social media for. I don't actually, because I can't, because there's always something
Yeah.
bad, and
Yeah.
I don't think I can cope with it.
Well,
So,
about
that sounds like that sounds really amazing. Like as someone who...
earlier on in the year, there was a detransitioner who I won't mention their name because that's what they want. Who took the under-18s gender clinic in London to court because they detransitioned and decided they weren't trans after hormonal surgery.
Yeah.
And blamed them and said that children shouldn't be allowed blockers and to consent to their own medical treatment. And initially, about 6 months ago, I think, she won. So the NHS were like, okay, we need to relook at this. This isn't right. So they took it back to court. And we won by a landslide. And the ban was immediately revoked. So,
So because this person decided halfway through their treatment that actually I don't think I'm trans.
Yeah.
At the age of what, 16?
I think she's like 25. She had blockers at 16, and then she started T when she was 18, and she had top surgery when she was 20 or something.
Well,
and then she went back on it in her mid-20s and was like, I blame the Tavistock for allowing me to have blockers.
but she didn't have to have she didn't have to have the top surgery. She could have just
Yeah.
used blockers.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So it's no one's fault except hers. Like,
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
even her,
It was
it's
her,
not even her fault.
choice.
It's not even her fault for, like, in her brain she must have been like I know that discovering who you are can be just a brain scattering thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not knowing, do I identify as a female? Do I identify as a male? Do I want boobs? Do I want this? Do I want that? Am I who I think I am?
Yeah.
But so going as far as having the surgery is not, it's not necessarily wrong. It's wrong for her to say, I blame you for my choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
choices
Exactly.
were to take the blockers, and she had those 2 years to think, are these blockers helping me discover who I am? Are these blockers right for my body? And am I making the right choice in by booking the top
Yeah.
surgery
Yeah.
and going through plastic surgery and like base and like tissue removal?
Yeah.
Like that's
Like,
no,
it's
Yeah.
not an
surgery. That's not
easy
even minor
process
surgery.
either. Like, you
Big
don't.
surgery.
It's not an easy process to even get the
you're in the
blockers in the first
process
place
for,
because you've got
you're in the
all this.
process for approximately a decade. Like
Yeah.
where we're at the moment.
It's not easy
You're
to
in the
to
process.
start the process in the first place, which
Yeah.
is why a lot of people are scared to come out as that thing, because they can't be who they want to be
Yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
female presenting or male presenting, when they feel the opposite.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of scrutiny. Like, Casper, I've known you've been to, to
the
committees
appointments are
of people
horrible.
who aren't trans. They're just cisgendered, like, random people who somehow have the ability to make these decisions for trans people,
Yeah.
who sit across from you and grill you about how
Yeah.
you live your life. And if you're not quote
Yeah.
unquote male enough or quote unquote female enough, then you're apparently not trans and you're not the gender that you say you are. And it's not an
Yeah.
easy process to go through for anybody. So if you've gone through that whole process and then you're 25 and you want to turn around and say that it's somebody else's fault, I think you've got some kind of mixed wires somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, these are all
I
these
do
sort of
hope
things
she's
is why
okay and
people-
like
Yeah.
she does clearly need some help.
Yeah.
Like in the nicest way possible. She needs to go to bloody therapy because making thousands of trans kids suffer because of her mistake.
Yeah.
There's something going on there.
This is
but
absolutely a reason why people do not go get the help they need, though.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
the doctors that you go to see, you have to fit the boxes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's a tick box.
if
You have
you
to
do-
dress a certain way.
so, like, with BPD and bipolar, if you don't fit with BPD, you have to fit 4 of 9 categories, but those categories are interchangeable.
Yeah.
And for girls with BPD, it can also be a confusion with autism. So
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah, there is a
actually
lot
have
of
no idea
that
if
within.
I have no idea if I have BPD or if I'm autistic. But I
Wow.
haven't got.
That's
I have not got that
really,
energy.
really common.
I have not got
I've
that
got
energy
loads
to
of.
go find out what
Oh.
my coping mechanisms are working for the moment. So
Well,
we'll just
that's-
stick with them. We'll
that's
stick with it.
That's the most important thing. Is like, if you do have your coping mechanisms for your own stuff at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
that's right for you, then that's great,
Yeah.
and just keep on doing that. But if you do need
But
to
if
ever find it
People
out,
are scared of not knowing that there's something wrong, but not fitting a doctor's tick box criteria, and then
yeah,
they don't get the help that they need.
Yeah.
Which is why there's so many. I don't want to say the word because it's not a word that I like, but
There's so many people that go without help.
yeah, and there's so
Yeah.
many unnecessary tragic endings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
not
exactly the
necessary.
same with trans kids. Like this
They don't
court
feel
case
comfortable, you can't
being
feel comfortable.
revoked will have saved thousands of lives all across the UK.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have taken almost 60 people speaking in court, including the children themselves. Like
Yeah.
at the age of 14 and 15, they had to stand up in a court and say, I'm trans. This is why I need this medical care.
And it's
Like it
why
shouldn't
is
have
this
taken
even
putting
a debate?
children through that trauma.
Why is this even a debate? Why is this a thing that people have to go to courts for? It's like the abortion ban in Texas right now, and the
Yeah.
doctor has gone through and done
fact
an
that
abortion
men
to
think-
just be like,
It's like the fact that these politicians, these male politicians, think they can govern my body.
oh my
I'm
God,
not even in
it's
America.
disgusting.
But the
Yeah.
fact, like,
Yeah.
they think they have this ownership over people they've never met,
It's
over
disgusting.
people who. It's not even just women. It's anyone who can carry a baby.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of trans, female to male, who
Mhm.
have not got that surgery yet, but it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
Unconsensual sex is still very much a thing. You don't have. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter whether you're rich,
Yeah.
whether you're blonde, whether you're. It literally you could if you do not want it, and people are doing this, like you are still going to, like you should not be denied your life choices.
Yeah.
It's just,
Sometimes
it's
pregnancy is not always it's not always safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and the fact that people still put, and it's a very bizarre concept for me. Like someone, an organism that's not born yet has not taken full form. I can get it.
Yeah,
I can get it if it's past like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand if it's like a whole baby, but
That's
if
the
it's
part
just
where
a
I'm
collection of cells,
Yeah.
then it's not got feelings. It
It can't. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
the fact that the ban
understand
is
the whole-
6 weeks,
that's
if you get-
ridiculous.
no
Some
one
people
can
don't
know
even
if
know
they're
that
pregnant.
they're pregnant until
It's
they're 2 or 3
ridiculous.
months.
yeah.
People who don't get regular periods will never know
Yeah.
until they start showing, or until
Yeah.
they start throwing up in the morning.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Like-
until they're like 5 months and they're like, oh no, maybe I should do a test. I feel a bit sick.
Yeah.
Yes, there's no. Every person's body is different. You can't test it. You can't say 6 weeks is enough time for you to discover, because you'd have to have that said sex literally just after your last period in order
Yeah.
for you to realize, oh shit, I've missed my next one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you've only got 2 weeks to decide, do I want this baby? Can I get somewhere that will help me if I
Yeah.
don't? And considering there is a global pandemic where travel is not
Yeah.
actually
Especially in
accessible,
America, they're even worse than
in,
us.
in America, like it's okay here because you can do that and you don't even have to tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
apparently in America, you need your dad, your granddad, your dog, your
Yeah.
boyfriend, and your boyfriend's grandfather to
Yeah.
say, yes, she can have that. Or,
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
and like it's all people who will not be who are not like almost essential to your life. It should be if you're in a stable relationship, it should be yours and your partner's decision.
Yeah.
If it's less than ideal situation, it should be your decision and your decision only, and you
Yeah.
should not be scrutinized or looked down on or told to go to hell because you decided.
Especially not by some man in a suit in a
Mm-hmm.
in I don't know what the Houses of Parliament are called in America. It's not
House
the
of
White
Commons,
House.
I
that's
think.
where-
It's just.
Oh, 1 second, someone's at the door.
Okay.
But it is very much like
Yeah.
it's always a politician who has a history of sleeping with people who are not their wife.
Yeah, I
Just
get what you
saying.
mean.
But
Yeah.
like they should not have be able to make a decision on my body. It's my body. I know what it
Sorry,
it can
Casper's
handle.
just. I can just hear Casper at the front door.
Just all I can hear is yeah. But yeah, it's very much
Yes.
it is the sole reason I would never. Well, it's not the sole reason. There is a lot of things wrong with America, but
Yeah.
I would never be able to move there.
Yeah.
I'm
Hi.
a woman of color. I am on the LGBT like realm.
Yeah.
I have mental illnesses. They've everything that America does not like.
Yes.
I am it.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I value
I am-
healthcare too much to ever move
I am
to
nicest
America
person in the world.
personally.
I am like the nicest person like to other people, and I know I still would get like I get shit on here, but but I wouldn't make it like I wouldn't make it a year if I lived there unless I had a full support system where, especially like you have to have a support system as a person of color
Yeah.
in a place like America.
Yes.
Because
yeah, for sure.
Because the majority of them are only looking out for themselves. And it's just such a shame because we're all basically the same. We're just painted different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just in different places of the world, and
We're literally just painted. We've just got slightly different paint colors. Like no one gets mad that you get ginger cats and black cats and tabby cats, and no one gets mad that you've got 60 billion different types of dog. Everyone gets crazy in love with the fact that there's like so many different types of dog. There's a lot of different people. There is so many different types of people, and people just can't cope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just
like,
doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
They want to be like, but we need to get on with aliens. And I'm like, y'all can't get on with the people.
Yeah.
No fucking wonder the aliens haven't come down yet.
Yeah. I think if the aliens came, bloody Americans would.
This Friday they've left us alone. They've seen the shit shows that is this planet, and they're like, better not touch that. Let's go investigate Mars. You know, because we have this thing, and we have this group complex of attack first, ask questions later. The aliens wouldn't last 10 seconds, especially if you've got like places like I don't know Russia and America who have nuclear missiles on speed dial. It's just as well Donald Trump doesn't live in the White House anymore, because if he touched that button, that I'm honestly impressed that we made it through those 4 years.
Yeah, me too.
I'm honestly it was kind of a shock, and it shocked me even more that he didn't get a second term.
Yeah.
Endgame
really
Vibes
did.
makes a good point actually in chat, saying that we want to go to different planets to try and start a new colony, and we can't even take care of Earth.
Literally. We've already started killing off this planet. It's almost irreversible at this point.
Yeah.
We'd only do the same.
Yeah, we do the same to Neptune. Like
We do
matter.
the same.
Neptune.
It doesn't matter what. Or Mars,
Neptune's a planet.
Yeah,
isn't it?
wherever
Can
we
we
go,
even land on Neptune? Isn't Neptune a gas giant?
I don't think it
sorry,
matters.
never mind.
We'd still find a way.
We'd still find a way to destroy it.
We'd probably set it on fire by trying to land with a rocket. You know. We'd set something on fire, and then they'd be like, "Oops, try again next time." You know.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real. You have all these people working on these solutions, and then you just get the people who aren't trained in it. They're like, nah. It'll be fine, and you literally like people with these like scientists have spent 20 years of their life like in school and university and studying these things, and they're like, yeah, no, we can't actually go to Neptune, or we can't actually send a robot to I don't know Jupiter or Saturn because it literally will implode the robot, and they're like, do it anyway.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah, why not?
And you're just like, did you see what happened on Mars?
Mm-hmm.
We lost didn't we lose like 2 robots on there?
Yeah, and they used to sing happy birthday to themselves on their birthdays, and it made me cry.
That's the thing, we're making all these robots like humanized, but we don't care.
Yeah.
There is no empathy. And I am an empath. Like, I feel everything.
Yeah.
And pairing that with BPD is not actually very fun.
No.
But like, you see all these things. You have so when that robot shut down, he sang happy birthday to himself. Then he was just like, it's cold, and you're just like,
Oh yeah, I cried.
I'm like, no, you're a robot.
like,
You're
poor
not meant
robot.
to be able to do that, and
Yeah.
you can. And then people are worried that, people are worried that we're gonna be taken over by robots, and they're like, of course we are. If you're gonna give them feelings,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're gonna end up like
Yeah.
iRobot. We're gonna
Yeah.
end up in all those disaster movies that have robots as the main bad guy because you gave them feelings.
I like to think that maybe an AI that's intelligent enough to say take over the world will also be intelligent enough to learn how to forgive. But considering the kinds of people that are programming these AIs right now and probably in the future,
I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, if they did do what the movies do, and they're like, even though they know that people like us have nothing to do with it, they're like, you're part of the same species, you must all be the same.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be like the Daleks. They'll be like the Daleks.
Yeah.
If you give a computer program, if you give the computer program a line such as "you must protect the Earth at all costs" or whatever, it may look at that and be like, "Well, humanity's fucking destroying it, so let's kill them all."
And
I have high hopes for AI, but
yeah, it's just a shame that we as people also have that mentality towards different cultures that aren't our own.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame that because we have people who are people of color and are like have so many different religions and stuff, and it's gonna sound bad coming from me, but it's just, this is just my, like, this is how I see it. It's like the white people they see people like me, people of color who are darker than me, who have different religions and that sort of thing, and think, you are not the same as me, you must go.
Yeah.
And that is why we have a war in Iraq. You know, that is why we have racism in every aspect of the world. We got it so bad in America. It's not particularly great here.
Yeah.
And then you give these people access to guns and knives and like fireworks, for fuck's sake. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, it impresses me that we've gotten this far, and
and it's another...
that we've generally survived a pandemic that because people just they're not empathetic. Is that, did I say that right? I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't care enough for the people around them. It is very much save yourself, not it, like, it's one man for himself sort of thing, and like, maybe his dog.
If you
people have more empathy for a dog than they do other people, and it just, as much as I love animals, I'm just like, I want to save the child and the cat. You know, in a fire, I would have to save both. You can't pick because they're both life, you know. But then having on the other side, you can't have to make sure that you take care of yourself by being able to have like things like abortions or get rid of toxic relationships and toxic family relationships. Like, you have to have that balance of being kind to your neighbors and being kind to yourself. So as much as I'm not religious, there are aspects of every single religion that and it's all to do with kindness. You have to be kind.
We just need to look after we just need to look after each other.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, well, the core aspects of pretty much every religion are be kind to one another,
look after
and look after
neighbors.
yourself.
That is the main message in the Bible, right?
Yes.
And yet
but it's lost by people's
so
interpretations of it that end up being, oh, we should stone all the gays. Or even, you know, if you want to go back many years, we should burn all the witches, you know? Like, It's
Yeah.
how the people have managed to interpret a set of moral guidelines that are basically just don't rape and kill everybody into, oh yeah, let's just kill everybody, is
kill everyone who
so
isn't-
mind-bendingly wrong.
It's the same with like Hitler. Like it was literally just like, if you have not got blue eyes, if you have not got blonde hair, and if you have not got 20/20 vision, you're not part of my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hitler
off
didn't
you
have
go.
blonde hair, blue eyes, or 20/20 vision, so
Yeah.
what the fuck was he on
Yeah.
about?
Like the hypocrisy with that was absolutely bonkers, and you're just like, how? Who let him get away with that? Why was there not a power above him to like stop
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That is like,
I mean, I guess
whole-
technically
a
there
whole
was
race of
because people I guess technically there was because people you know came together and there was a whole war, but there was no one above him in the country to be like, hell, no, don't do that. Literally a bunch of other countries had to band together and fight him to tell him that he couldn't do
those
that.
are people.
Yeah.
They are the same as us. They just happen to have a different way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the wrong way of life. And it breaks my heart that like Muslims and Sikhs and all of those like Eastern religions have to fight and say online, in real life, like in person, I am not my religion, I am not the extremists.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like it is just not, it's not part of their book.
Yeah.
It is not part of their books.
Because
Like Muslims are so peaceful, so are Sikhs and others, and like, you know, like those are the most violent religion I can think of is Christianity.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
They nailed
don't
someone to a cross, you know, like,
Yeah.
literally.
and then they left him in a cave,
Mm.
and then they kind of freaked out when he actually was just sleeping and wasn't dead. But like that's the most violent religion, and everyone is on their high horse, and you got these extremists like the KKK, and then you got the extremists like the Taliban, and you're just like, has anyone read your own book? Have you read your book?
Yeah.
Did you read them? Did you
No.
know, do religious studies? Like, come on, I'm not religious. I know this.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think everybody should just be nice to each other, and that should
Yeah.
be.
Like, and
Really?
like, regardless of whether or not you believe that there's some dude in the clouds that decides whether or not you go to heaven or hell, or whatever other interpretation of it is, you know, regardless of all of that, you should
The world
just
is-
be
yeah.
nice. You shouldn't have to have the threat of an imaginary man deciding where your soul
Yeah.
goes in
Yeah.
order to be
And
a
at
nice
this- at
person.
this
You should
point,
just be a nice person.
I question any sort of religion in that aspect with like an actual god, because you've got third world countries who are starving, and there's
Yeah.
floods, and there's like disasters that should be like averted or avoided if someone was watching over us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a
Like,
lot of preachy
a lot of these
people
things
have
should-
the response of, "Oh, he's just testing us," which is such a non-response.
I don't like being tested.
Well,
Yeah.
but it's such
At
a
the end of
it's
my
such
tether.
it's such a non-response, isn't it? Because what you're saying when
Yeah.
you say, "Oh, he's testing us," is all you're doing is brushing under the rug the legitimate claim of, why are people still suffering if there is an almighty God? You know, like
Yeah.
what is
Why
the
do
point
they,
in that?
like,
And
then you
also,
have that question
what
of why
test
did
is
they
being
get
put
to
on
fail?
me? What test is
Yeah.
being put on me as a cis white man in Britain when there's people dying in third world countries? There's no tests on me, so why are
Yeah.
they dying?
Yeah.
You know,
It's literally
it doesn't
just
make
like,
any
why
fucking
did they
sense.
get to fail, and then you get people like Richard Branson and Elon Musk who get to win, and like
Yeah.
Like,
They don't-
you know,
and
that's not God. That's just racism.
Yeah.
they don't deserve to fail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not.
They are set up from the day they are born to fail because of the state of their country, and then you've got
Yeah.
people born into these families like in the Kardashians and Elon Musk and his son, whose name I will never learn to pronounce. I'm just gonna call him Dave.
XAE12, I think.
His name.
Yeah.
His name was Dave in my head because I can't.
Dave.
That's another thing. Like, please give your children normal names. Like,
Yeah. Famous people just need to call their children Richard.
Oh my god.
I don't mind names like North and those sort of names that do have a meaning. And I know Elon's son's name has got a meaning, but I just wish it was written in the QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, because all I can read it as is XAE12. That's all I can. That's all my brain processes. I'm just like, I'm not gonna be able to call a human being that.
But it's pronounced something completely obscure.
I know, and it's so strange.
That poor kid is either gonna have severe anxiety and want to change his name the second he can, or he's gonna have an ego as big as his dad's. Because I actually think his mum, what's her name?
Grimes,
yeah. She seems okay. She seems, apart from the naming
I love
thing,
her style, honestly. I
apart
love
from the naming
Grimes'
thing,
style.
she just reminds me of like a really gothic Miley Cyrus.
I get what you mean. I'm not really a big fan of her music, but her style is on point.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of her music. I listened to her a lot when I was a teenager, and you know when she first came out?
No. But
like, I liked
I only know
her
of
stuff
her.
then.
I've not actually listened to her things, so I like her style, and she seems like quite a down-to-earth person, apart from the naming of her child, and maybe the person she decided to have their child with. But that's her choice. That's her choice.
Yeah.
I just think that people should just think about the kids, you know? Just give them a name that they're gonna find on a keychain, you know? That's all they want. They just want their name on a keychain or a cup or a magnet.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's all
god,
they care
imagine
about.
that kid having to go into Starbucks. Like they don't write your name down at the best of times with just your average name anyway. But imagine
They
that
spelled
kid going
Taylor
to
wrong.
How?
Yeah.
At this point,
How?
Kaila. Kyla.
Kyla? What the fuck?
I get Kyla.
It's ridiculous.
I get Keela, and I'm like, where is the E?
Yeah. Well, imagine
Where is the
Zay12 going into a fucking Starbucks and asking for something.
I think if he gets to have a normal upbringing, he'll just go in and say, "Hi, my name's Steven."
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Like,
Can you imagine like
and-
a receptionist or something asking how you spell your name, and you're just like, well, it's an X, and then there's an A and an E that are kind of conjoined together, and then there's a 1.
Like the Latin A, and then there's 12, and you're just like, at that point, you're just like, please, everything be on an iPad so I can just do it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, that is probably the future. I'd like to think. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what the next 10 years bring. Like, I'm hoping by 2030 we have some kind of recognizable AI that isn't going to destroy us all. Because
I just hope the world doesn't implode by then.
yeah, you
Everyone's
know,
been
like,
like,
my fingers
same.
are crossed on actual world-ending event. Like, I would rather it not happen, but I've also come to terms with the fact that it might, because because if I was to sit here and be absolutely terrified about the direction that we're heading, and how things seem to be going, I would never have a good day in the rest of my life. So I'm just
after
here
last year, I just have no expectations for each year.
Just
that way,
take it as it
if something
comes
good
and try and make the
happens,
best of
I'm
it.
pleasantly surprised. If something really awful happens, it will shell shock me for a couple days or months, depending on the event.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes. Yes.
It wouldn't actually be something I wouldn't be expecting. I have just been living this whole year just like, if it's good, it's great. If it's bad, can't be worse than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself last year when photos came out, because California was on fire as well for a bit at the same time as Australia. And there were photos of just this blood red sky. And like Donald Trump was in power. There was threats of nuclear war. COVID was happening. Countries were burning. And then all the riots happened with George Floyd and everything. And I literally just saw this photo of this blood red sky in California after hearing all of that news. And I was just like, okay, well,
This is where we die.
This is it. This is the end. This is literally the end
End
of
of the
everything.
world.
And then it carried on still. So we're not the end
still
yet,
going.
but I'm just try and make the best of it as we come, hey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I kind of want to wrap up if that's all right with you guys. This has been a good solid podcast episode. We've been going 2 hours now, but Kayla, there is something that I always like to ask people towards the end of the podcast when they come on here, usually about whatever it is that they do. So you're a Twitch streamer, so if you were to give any words of advice to people starting out Twitch streaming or thinking about it, or even Twitch streamers who are established but stuck, what would you say to them?
Be yourself. Turn off your view account. Network. If you want the following, network.
Yeah.
That's how I it's literally how I've got where I am. Social networking within Discord servers, which is how I met Zenith.
Yeah.
And just have fun.
Yeah, have fun with it.
The career path will come with it, but every single streamer on this platform, partner or not, has started out just wanting to have a bit of fun and make new friends. And the career path will come with time. It could be 7 months, it could be a couple years. But as long as you're having fun and people see you're having fun, that's what's going to get you where you're going.
I couldn't have put that any better myself. Thank you, Kayla. And thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you coming on.
I'm fine. I'm glad that I finally managed to make it.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's been a bit on off. Like it's been about a month.
It's either been me having a kind of weird time, or it's your internet.
Like we moved and we had a bunch of stuff. But thank you for finally making it. You were a wonderful guest. Thank you, Casper, for being co-host as well.
Thank you.
Please go and hold on. If I put SO Kayla _ the gamer _ that's 2 underscores. Please go check out Kayla the Gamer over on Twitch. Spelt like how I just said. Casper is at Flappy Hands and Stims. I am Zenith Games on most things. We've been podcast 850,001. Don't forget to follow or subscribe.
How do you say that on a regular basis?
I just got used to it. We're 32 episodes
great
in now.
difficulty.
I was trying to plug this on my stream last night, and I was like, you know what? No, just follow Zenith. You'll find it there.
Oh, yes. Well, please go follow or subscribe or whatever it is on the respective things that we are on. This has been the podcast. Thank you very much.
And I'll actually be streaming some Stardew in about half an hour because I don't feel like it. So
nice.
If you fancy popping along, just a kind of self promo there. I feel like playing some Stardew and I might as well stream it. So
Stardew is honestly a great game. Right. Thank you, podcast people, and we will see you in a bit.
Thank you for having me.
We will see you next time.
Bye.